a quick break, and yeah, the weather is awful, so I'm glad to be back because, like, I'm just looking through the window. It's raining and it's dark and it's 10 a.m., 11 a.m. So here we go.
So we went through our process and we picked another industry, and this time we picked customer electronics, right, as the target of our discussions and building a prototype for that specific industry. Let me share my screen, and
Yeah.
we can start.
Yeah, and I think this is a very interesting segment because of the variety of use cases and products. Like, there are those massive producers. However, they create so much that it's been I don't know how about you, but for me, it was a very interesting challenge to select the application interface and how to deliver much more use. And then I realized that our framework of measuring the traffic and segmenting the traffic, I think, showed a lot of power here. So yeah, super happy about the result, and it's been a very interesting project.
I think that we should zoom out and tell the viewers, because they will watch it for the first time probably. What do we do in this series of these videos, and what's our goal? What do we do about who are we, basically?
Yeah, so basically what we are doing is that we create solutions like mini applications you put on your website, and that can be a calculator, a configurator, an AI assistant that I like to call it maximizes the traffic you are already getting. So by increasing conversion rates, increasing time on site, and increasing marketing qualified lead to sales qualified lead ratios, basically we capitalize on the trend that the internet is evolving and people stopped searching. They want to ask. So the interface like ChatGPT, Gemini, and others basically drive viewers towards a conversational interaction. So I don't want to read your massive library of knowledge. I appreciate it's there, but I've got a specific question for a vetted source to answer, or among, like in this case, from the massive catalog of products, or which one is suitable for me, what are the peripherals I need to buy, and how does it work. So we already see that how well that performs, and how much conversion, and how, in the end of the day, how much revenue the businesses that implement solutions like this are generating. And where we want to go is to make sure that this is not a stroke of genius, that someone has a great idea for an app to develop, but we have a framework, a repeatable framework that pretty much for any business, we look into, the traffic you're generating, how you're generating it, and then identify specific places with the right solutions. So I like to call it that, as we see on the screen, we turn passive readers into active customers. And and I think this is the mega trend on the internet that the smart businesses need to look into.
I like to say that we try to compete with ChatGPT and Gemini a little bit, because in 2015, 2020, it was all about content, producing a lot of informational content, like to produce some guidance to the visitors, what they should do, what they should buy, what are the top products for specific use cases, and so on. Now these users turn to ChatGPT to describe their situation. But still, a lot of traffic lands on the informational pages, and these informational pages, blog posts, content, videos, like everything that is inside of your domain, I believe that needs evolving. And I think that with the process that we've built, it's possible to catch up to GPT or Gemini answers, or even exceed these answers, mainly because these mini apps that we propose to create for the existing content that already receives a lot of traffic could be produced fast and could be tested and validated by humans, and of course with the use of AI. But when it's validated, it becomes something even validated and personalized to the products, to the situation of specific shop or producer. And I think that at the end of the day, it could become something better and more certain, because ChatGPT or Gemini are probabilistic, and with cooperation of producers or e-commerce shops or any company, the experience could be validated and improved tremendously, in my opinion. So let's jump in and let's give some examples. what's the outcome of what we do?
Yeah, so what we see on the screen is that on the left, a very valuable and informative blog post. This actually comes from a company that creates those natural supplements, herbal solutions, and they noticed that their solution is very helpful for women during the pregnancy. However, there are a lot of questions to be answered. There is a lot of, search volume online is present, and because obviously it's a very important time in everyone's life, and they want to make sure that everything goes smoothly. So they created this very comprehensive, very well-researched, informative blog post, which is very long, but also, it's very proprietary knowledge. They are a trusted source. It's a business with over 50 years of experience. What we see on the right is the configurator we created for a pregnancy wellness guide, which basically allows a user to not only, let's say, passively read the content, but interact and configure what the challenge they come with, the real challenge they come with, if they have any constraints. And out of all the catalog and the knowledge base of that provider, who's also an expert in the area, we pre-select a set of products, some tips and advice for that specific content. Of course, like if the visitor wants to learn more or explore more, the blog post is still there, like, below this interactive element, but just above it, there is this quick conversational interface that already increases engagement, provides immediate value, creates a lot of goodwill and a chance for upsell. So what I like to show on this example here is that this content remains top quality and vetted, tried and tested, 50 years of experience. So as you mentioned, ChatGPT might hallucinate and sometimes, depending on the traffic, the token volume, what we discussed this morning, like, you might get your mileage and quality may vary. Here we are specifically, protecting the brand, solving for users' problems, and guiding them towards the conversion point. But the content is still tried and tested and sure. So yeah, and like, we see on the stats that the solutions like this can increase your time on site by 8 times, conversion rates by more than double, and the sales ratio more than 20 to 40% more, which for the e-commerce like this is significant volume and something to be looked into.
In practice, it's a button or an embedded app, like in the middle of your article or set of articles on specific landing pages that are connected to specific group of keywords. So let's say everything related to pregnancy, because in here you have a mini app that is not only about pregnancy and tea, but it's all about pregnancy and different herbs
Yes.
that you could apply during the pregnancy periods. We have one article and it's connected with multiple articles related to pregnancy and specific herbal solutions during that specific time. Yeah, and in practice, this app is embedded between different, paragraphs of your app, or maybe in the beginning of the article, so that the user could have a choice. You can either read or you can dive into our dedicated app.
And I think what's important to add here is that by working with us, like, we are the marketing experts, we create as many solutions and we test and embed those solutions in a let's say, marketing relevant places. So where the traffic is, where the intents are. So within one subscription, we can create and adjust multiple solutions like this. So this is why, as we always say, like, we maximize the marketing, not just create, multiple apps to put somewhere. It's all connected to the user journey and part of the marketing package. Our goal is to make sure that our clients' businesses, get better results, rather than, bill hours of developers, like, and not take any responsibility how it performs. This is a marketing activity rather than technical one.
It's absolutely marketing data-driven activity, and the development part is rather, it's a small part of the whole process.
Yeah.
Thanks to AI, in the past it used to cost a lot. Now the cost can go dramatically down. All right, so the first brand is the one that I picked. It's called ratings.com. It's basically a blog, a huge website with a lot of traffic that exploded in the recent years, that rates different customer electronics products, and gives you a top 10, top 5 products for a specific keyword and an intent of a user, saying that I need a TV or something for gaming. Let's say this is the niche I picked. So as you can see, this is TV and keywords, let's say cluster, and I exported that keyword, put it into our process, and I identified a couple of ideas. But first, how does the content look like? The content is classic. It's a blog post. It's a WordPress page, probably. That's my guess. They have a ton of products. I mean, a ton of content, and it's an article with an image. It's a very classic, top 6 gaming TV, content that was produced in millions over the last 20 years. And in here we see some, let's say, they have also experts that they test products and they assign specific values. So they have probably a huge database based on which different products were graded. So let's say mixed usage, home theater, and so on, as you can see, different ratings. And you can go one by one and see the ratings, see the results, and then you have an affiliate link. All right, so I ran it through the process that we have, and I've identified 30 mini app ideas. One of these ideas is TV size and viewing distance calculator. So this is based on the keywords. It identified, over 5,000, 6,000 clicks a month that people basically search for dimensions, measure distance, what size of TV for living room, and so on. And this is not ideal, but it's just a representation, how people try to get this information. So now ChatGPT can help them in that experience. But I believe that a page like this one could have a very advanced mini app that helps people to identify the distance, like how far from the TV should their couch be, like in feet or meters, like what's the distance. And that could be of huge value to these users, especially asking this question, what size of TV should I get? 2,500 users landing on a specific blog post. I could find it, but it's just a classic blog post with a lot of text, and sometimes it has some
so high intent, you even from what's written, the decision is made. I want a new TV. Now I'm thinking which one. So from it's deep down into consideration. So the pay-per-click for something like this would be huge.
I mean, yeah, it's quite possible, yeah. But even capturing that, if you're a TV producer or if you're that page provides ratings, if you provide the right experience, better than ChatGPT, because ChatGPT, you can take a photo, you can measure the distance, and you can enter that, and it can give you some suggestions. It could be fine, but if I would enter and land on a post and there is a mini app, and over there I can visualize what more or less the distance, and it could be very appealing. I think that you could win over the experience basically. But I picked the other one, Input Lag Checker for gamers. This is the app that I created as part of our process. As you can see, what is best monitor for gaming? Best monitor of PS5, best monitor for Xbox Series X, best 4K gaming monitor, curved gaming monitor, and so on. So that's the app. Let me show you how it works. So it's a prototype, of course, but let's imagine an article. A user scrolls down on their mobile device or maybe a PC, and they see, they can read a lot of it, or maybe they can go into an app. Okay, okay, I landed on the page. It's a quiz. I've got Xbox Series X. What will you do? What kind of games will you play? Competitive, cinematic, sports, whatever. Let's imagine a bit more advanced because it's important, and this is especially in competitive, lowest input lag is critical. So you want to have the fastest speed possible. And then I believe that this app could be tremendously improved. As you can see, I've embedded the distance from the TV to couch, let's say, and it's not very visually appealing, but I believe that with a bit of work, it could be possible to basically visualize how big of a screen you need for that specific use case that is used for your specific case of your living room, without taking a picture of your living room, or maybe even embed that as part of experience, who knows. But for sure, this part could be improved. And the next one is, of course, the budget, and then find my perfect TV. This is something that, and this is the most, this is all specs, details of products, and then if you could combine specs with the grades that that specific domain has in their database, as price plus personalization, at the end of the day, we have, hey, this is your this is a wrong picture, of course, but this is your answer for your need. You need that. And here are some other options. And this is, in my opinion, very valuable experience to the end user. And the domain provides a lot of trust as
Yes.
part of the process. And this user will come back for that page because they will be interested in finding very personalized answers like this one. And of course, validated answers, and not like ChatGPT or Gemini that often offer very uncertain answers. Okay, thanks. That's my part.
Yeah, I think this looks great. And for my part, I chose Philips, like the Polish version of Philips. So as mentioned, one producer that has multiple devices. So if you go to another screen, when I had a look into the keywords, like the volume, of course, it's like in Polish language, so we need to scale down to the geographical locations. But what I saw on the first glance is that there are multiple personas asking some practical questions. So how do you do some kind of hairstyle, or specific one, which device for irrigators or something to clean your teeth, like, to choose. And so it's been like an amalgamation of multiple questions, multiple funnel stages, and multiple personas.
Yeah, to translate that into English, I believe that these are keywords, how-to keywords mainly, and related to the products that they offer, basically.
Yeah. But like, if you move to the next page, this is the experience someone's getting. This is one domain. As you can see, multiple some pages on the left are directed onto personas. Pages on the right are directed into specific products. In the middle, you see the home page with each tile, because obviously Philips is famous for its TV sets, but also there are like, shavers, sonic toothbrushes, sound systems, medical devices. Like, I am not envious of the head of marketing that takes care of this website, because there is just so much. Plus, of course, you need to have some branding exercises. And so this was actually quite challenging and interesting to cluster the keywords and the traffic by the personas and find the most attractive parts, and then come up with the apps, mini apps ideas. But I think at the same time it's challenging, and at the same time there's so much potential for various sources. So in fact, I couldn't help myself, but I haven't created one but two apps in the end. So if you go to another screen, like out of more than 30, those are like top 4 based on keywords clusters. When you combine all those what's called a long tail search terms, that can come up with like 3,500 visits onto the website and different parts of the blog for each personas or for the product. So I chose 2 options. One as a person who has a beard and desperately needs a haircut. I chose the one that trimmer length visualizer, and another is that, look, what I also noticed, and the research showed, is that people often visit the producer's website to buy peripherals. So for example, like, the shaver heads or extra heads for their sonic brush. But the device itself could be bought somewhere online, eBay, you name it, like, other places. So actually there is a significant portion of traffic to cater for post-purchase upsell personas. So I also chose the app that helps with that. So if you go to the next screen and choose, let's say, the first link, that will be, that's an app that actually helps you. If you choose the picture of yourself and choose what kind of hairstyle, like facial hair, so you can go, we will see what Rado will look like with full beard. So if you choose from the drop-down menu full beard, if you choose full beard, those are the most spectacular. And you try for this style, the application, it takes a moment, but it will show what you look like with the beard, which Philips products should be. Here we go. Oh, that's handsome. Here we go. If you scroll down and continue to your grooming plan, just below the picture, you see you can select a couple of parameters. You don't have a Philips trimmer, so you don't have to choose this one if you have one, because the database.
You do actually.
Okay, but if you go to generate my personalized beard plan at the bottom below, it will tell you which parts of your face to shave, at what length, which guard, which product to achieve the goal you see on the AI generator.
Oh, I get it, because for a moment I was like confused, like, okay, this is a very fun mini app to basically visualize something.
Yeah.
But I get it. Hey, if you already have a product, or like what kind of set of products do I need for my specific situation? But like, I believe that maybe, so okay, I get.
You can
Maybe,
change the style.
you choose current state and then the goal state. Maybe like I have a mid-size
And how to
beard and I
take
want
it.
to have full length, and like how to take care of it after I get to a specific point in which I want to be, and what kind of products I want to have to basically maintain an appealing appearance
And
when
how
I
to
reach that
so
specific stage.
it's your planning tool, because you would be surprised how many long tail keywords was how do I take care of my
Wow.
beard, how to grow a beard, my favorite one, like how to grow a beard without looking like some like unfavorable, like it was a very specific, so like but
homeless
because
person or something.
yes, something like this. So basically, like how to do it. And there's like YouTube videos, a lot of blog posts, even on Philips's website, how to start, how to take care, what steps to take. But then like the first step was like, what kind of look are you after? And then with this solution was like, I don't know, because I don't have a beard yet. What would I look like if you were to decide? Now we know what you would look like with the full beard. If you were to go with the mustache, like how to do it.
Yeah, I get it. So basically you choose, okay, so let's say, okay,
Yeah, you can
each
try to.
different scenario
Yeah,
requires you to have different set of products, basically.
and a
And
different
right now,
grooming plan. If you choose, scroll back and choose. Let's see what you would look like, maybe just with the mustache, and it will create a
that's
visualization.
one of the most interesting apps that we've created, in my opinion. I mean,
Yeah, I
it's
think
very
because
engaging and
but here we go. That's not bad, but basically what you can, and then if you then repeat the process by generating your grooming plan, it will tell
okay,
you
regenerate. Okay.
what to shave, when to shave, how often. So for the full beard, we had, I think, every second day. Yeah. So to keep something like this in place, you do it every week.
I love it. I love it. And at the same time, I also envision, especially if that brand has a lot of tutorial videos,
Yes.
content, all of the related articles. What articles you have to read to get basically educate, to be ready, and maybe save a PDF, and so that you could come back to it and just get how to get from point A to B while maintaining, and how to upkeep that specific state B in right way. That's an awesome app. This is one of the most interesting apps we've created, but I don't see a connection, to be honest. So you found a lot of keywords related to like a beard,
how to grow a beard,
okay,
how to choose a style, something like this. And there's a lot of content on think about the shape of your face, think about the look you're after, your lifestyle, stuff like this. But now we can actually see, what would I look like with a mustache? What would I look like? I have a prototype, but not here yet. It's like, in my case, what do I look like removing a beard? And it was scarily accurate. I was looking at the pictures from the past. I was like, okay, this is interesting. But the second app, for the sake of time, is this post-purchase. Simple database search, for example, you can choose, maybe an oral care. That's because there are multiple products here. If you choose a product you have, the database might not be full yet, but so just choose a different product. But one of the challenges also we saw online is that people are looking, maybe they got something as a gift, maybe they bought something like in a real store, in brick and mortar store, but they need to suddenly, like for example, for a toothbrush, those heads. This is where actually Philips makes most, maybe not most, but makes money on the product becomes a subscription. But especially with the slightly later generation of products, with very niche products, it's kind of hard to see which parts to buy. And here you can, this is, let's say, MVP, a mock-up of the application where you can specify what I have, what parts do I need, how often do I need to change them, and you can turn the one-time product into a subscription for the user and also provide some value. Because we all know if I buy a toothbrush, like, the manual is the first thing to go into a bin.
It's a basically lifetime value extension solution.
Absolutely. And like,
Because
that goes with the, let's say, environmental friendly. You don't need to replace it that often. You maximize the effect of, and it shows that the producer takes care post-purchase after the customers. So, and I was also surprised, like how many search terms started with which, I don't know, shaving head for, and you had this product code, or like which does this product go with this product? Can I connect this speaker to that TV? Would that work? Would that work? Would that work? And normally you would end up on a blog post or a Reddit thread or something like this. But in practice, you can just input, okay, what do I have? And those are the tools that work with it. So this is what I've prepared for today. And I believe that especially in this multi-industry segments with multiple products, with multiple use cases and so many personas. And let's be honest, those are quite higher value purchases. This is where interactive tools that teach you, show you how to maximize your product can make companies stand out. So yeah, I think Philips should.
maybe we could arrange that.
Yeah,
Who
let's go
knows?
ahead.
All right. Thanks a lot, Adam. It was fun. I mean, this time it was we basically created a new type of mini apps. Who knows what's gonna be possible in the future? Our
Absolutely.
thesis is that the brands can't they can fight back in terms of quality of answers.
Mhm.
And I think that building such mini applications as part of content is the future. It was great to see new use cases of
Absolutely.
AI. Thanks a
Absolutely,
lot,
and
Adam.
this is why we are both creating those as well as you are training people on how to do it themselves. And if anyone listening is interested in learning more, please reach out to us. So even if you don't want to make it yourself, but understand how it's done, speak to Rado, and then we can help out, have a very much more informed conversation
Or
about
we
we
can
can do
run a
together.
very advanced analysis of your traffic and
Absolutely,
identify places where which are the best places to
yes,
deploy a prototype and to see if there is an uptake in conversion rate
yeah,
or reduced bounce rate or other metrics indicating that users get better value as part of
absolutely,
the customer journey. All
yeah.
right, thanks a lot, and see you in the next one. Bye. Take
Take care,
care.
Rado.